where Abraham went to sacrifice Isaac was the same spot that David gave offering and the plague stopped. Even the spot became an environment because a wisdom was playing out. That same protocol was what became the defeat of Satan. If the princes of this world had known, they would not have crucified the Lord of glory. In the days of Abraham, it was like obeying God, but it was government, a manifestation of divine wisdom finding expression. So what God wants is a people that carry his government. What God wants is worshippers, men surrendered to his wisdom, his will, and his authority. Then number 3, what God wants is to colonize realms, because God is a king. Every king is interested in territories. That's why when the first earth became rebellious and chaotic, God came and recreated it. My interest is territories, because I'm a king. I want territories where my glory dominates. And if I can't have that, it won't exist. So the first earth was created. Genesis 1 verse 1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And verse 2, the earth was void. Darkness was upon the face of the deep. This one is not consistent to me. And God came and recreated the earth. And God will recreate the earth again if it violates his government. That's why even this one, the Bible said the elements of this world be left. Because God is interested in territories. So when he created the first earth, he fashioned a garden where the concentration of his glory was domiciled. So that when Adam walked out of that garden, he will carry that glory into every sphere that he enters. So that the earth is colonized and the earth becomes an extension of heaven. So that the earth becomes a colony of heaven, reflecting heaven as his dominant expression. And when Satan saw it, he cut off the man through rebellion. And so God initiated the program. And Apostle Selman clearly depicted that program for us yesterday. Because everybody on earth has fallen. God can't walk with them. He can't see himself in them. God can't dominate the realm. So the first program of God was for unbelievers, because for all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. So God created another system to bring men back to his image, and that system is Christ. So when you go and preach the gospel, what you are doing is that you are revealing Christ. Anybody who sees that image of Christ becomes like Christ. So he's restored back to the original purpose. And then now that they are born again, the second program is to mature them. And he said that's for the church, discipleship. So you train them to grow in this economy they have been introduced to. And they grow until they move from unbelievers to believers, to transform believers to witnesses, people who are capable of representing God. And when they grow into witnesses, God now sends them into society to transform the society. So he said the first program of God is for unbelievers, the second program is for the church, and the third program is for society. Unbelievers, because you have to preach Christ to them to see the image of Christ to become. The church, because now that they have received Christ, they have to grow into Christ until they are able to represent Christ. And now that they can represent Christ, then the territory too must be delivered, because the earnest expectation of creation waited for the manifestation of the Son. So God's program is an attempt to recover God's purpose. And why God is doing this, why God is empowering us to do this, there are two other things that God does, and that's what I want to talk on tonight quickly. Number one, God is not just working in us to become like him. He is also delivering us from the counter forces that tries to stop what he's doing. And so, beyond the transformation happening, there is also a deliverance that has happened that you enter into as you are being transformed. That's why I told you yesterday, when a man has gone through that transformation program, intrinsically it takes the form of God, and that form manifests as light because God is light. That form manifests as fire because God is fire. That form manifests as wind because God is wind. And that form manifests as water because God is likened to the operation of water. And then I said externally, that man functions as a king because he's representing a kingdom. He functions as a priest because he's connecting two realms together. He functions as an ambassador because he's an agent of colonization. And then he functions as a witness because both as king, ambassador, and priest, he's supposed to manifest king. But that's not all God is doing, because it takes process for this to